Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a refugee Sue, and it's always a pleasure to be here. This channel I share immigration updates, my personal Canada journey as an international student in Canada, things that has made my journey in Canada really easy, and information that I feel could be helpful for you. Either you're just coming to Canada, or you're new in Canada, or you've been around for a while and these informations are not available to you. So if you enjoy my video, please like, share, subscribe, comment, ask your questions if you have any questions. We have a lot of people in our community that can help you, so let's get right into it. So for today, I'm going to be talking about frequent questions that are asked when you arrive in Canada at the border. And when I mean border, airports. I don't think there's seaports to come to Canada, but of course airports. So it's of essence to know that your visa does not guarantee that you're going to enter Canada. So I'm not like a bad person trying to make you feel bad, but that's just the truth. If you've seen your letter of introduction, it was clearly stated that your entry into Canada is still largely dependent on the visa officer at the border finding you still qualified to come into Canada. So it is of essence to get your story right, to get your plans right. It's of essence that everything that you use in your application, you still have access to them, or you still know your informations, very well. So I'm going to start it from my own personal experience, the questions I was asked when I arrived in Canada. And I'm also going to share a few ones that I've heard from my friends that arrived in Canada, and their study permits, and some visitors I've also met. And I don't know about permanent residents, but of course I don't think they asked them much, because even when we came in, I arrived with a friend of mine that arrived on permanent residence, and where he was asked to stay was entirely different from where we stayed. So I think it's an entire different, entire ball game for them. So for international students or visitors and workers, that's what I'm going to be addressing today. Now, the first question the officer asked was my name and my college, what I'm studying, and how long I'm going to be in Canada for. So he asked me what I'll be doing in Canada. So I introduced myself to him, and he also asked me, where am I studying? So I told him the college I'm studying, I told him the course I'm studying and for how long. And I presented my documents to him. So while he was going through it, he asked me, so where would you be staying in Canada? As I'm leaving the airport, where am I going to? I said, okay, immediately I leave the airport now, I have an Airbnb that I've booked for 3 nights, and I could extend it depending on how long. He said, okay, so what's the plan for getting an accommodation? I said, well, I have looked up a couple of accommodation on Facebook Marketplace, and I can't make payments until I am able to view and check what I'm, making payments for. I said, okay, that sounds okay. So I said that was why I booked an Airbnb for a couple of days so I'm able to move in. And of course, I arrived end of the month, 3 days to the end of the month. So of course it's valid, because most rent starts at the beginning of the month. So I just told him, and he said, okay, that was fine. So he said, who is my sponsor? I told him, and that was all. He asked me, and he said, welcome to Canada. He gave me my documents. He printed out my study permit and my work permit. So he gave the two to me, and I was like, go. So, but for my friend that we also arrived together, she was asked, who is sponsoring you? She told them who was sponsoring her, and he asked if she had fund, in her account or something. She had to show him her bank statement, her account. So, and that was just basically it. That was like the addition in our own case, because he said, okay, open your bank app, and he had to check. In fact, she said he was going to literally be checking the inflow and outflow in the account, but I think the app didn't load or something, but he was able to see the balance, so he let her go as well. So from other people, other questions are, how long will you be staying in Canada? So know the duration of your study and stick to it. Even if you came in with a 1 year and you tend to do a second year, stick to the 1 year, stick to what you have, and let them know that you are here to study and study, nothing more. Another tricky question that I know they've asked people that I have met is, if you get a job, will you stay in Canada? Tell them no, I am here to study, I'm here to add value to myself, and after which I'm going to be going back to my home country. Because we all know that in our statement of purpose during application or letter of explanation, whichever one you used, you stated that okay, you're only coming to Canada to study and then you go back to your family. So please don't get carried away in any way. Let your stories be straight. If you're coming on a study permit, I am here to study and to make best use of my time as much as possible. I love to explore Canada and have fun, but I am strictly here to study, and after studying, all things being equal, I'll return back to my home country after my valid status. Simple as ABC. Like, keep it really short. Even the Bible says in multitude of words there is sin. So the more you're trying to say different things, the more the officer is picking out things to question you. So like, keep it really short and let it die there, let it end there. Don't say if I get a job, yeah, I might consider, of course, because Canada experience. Nobody is asking you that. When you enter Canada, you are the one that know what you want to do. So, and of course, do it legally and do it well. So don't give too much information. Less is more with IRS is so far that I know less is more. So yes, of course, like, do you have enough funds? Like I said, asked my friend, do you have enough funds to support yourself in Canada? If you're self-sponsored or your parents sponsored you or your spouse sponsored you, state your sponsor, state what you're doing to sponsor yourself. If you still have a business back in Nigeria, state it. Okay, I have a business and I also came with this amount of money which I intend to convert to Canadian dollar. Like, be confident. I know a lot of people usually print their bank statements which they use for the application, but for example, in my case, I couldn't do that because I got my visa like 7 months before I traveled. So like, I can't definitely print what I had the previous year in a statement. I just made sure I had enough fund in my bank app. If they asked me, I was able to show them, and that was, they didn't ask me, but by eventually they asked me. That was a plan to show them. So stick to it. Now, there could be several questions, but in all the questions, it's going to be centered around, do you intend to stay? Do you intend to stay? Do you intend to stay? How long do you want to stay? Let it be short. Stick to the duration of your visa or your study permit. Just let them know that you're here to study, you're here to visit. So for a visitor, if you're coming for a conference or you're coming to visit somebody, let them know, oh, I don't intend to stay more than, my permitted period. I intend to stay for maybe a couple of months if you come to visit a relative, or maybe a couple of weeks till the end of my conference, and I'll go back to my home country. Keep it at that. They are very smart, so they are looking for things to nail you on. So you need to be very careful. If you're coming as a visitor, it is very important for you to have your return ticket, because why are you coming to visit and you don't have a return ticket? Because it's even expensive if you have to book, flights within a short period to leave Canada. So they believe that you must have planned your trip ahead and must have booked, this ticket. So please always have a return ticket when you're coming on a visit visa. And if they ask you anything centered around you intend to work, let them know, no, I came for a conference, I came to do this, I came to visit. So keep it short. Even if, luck shines on you and you get a job that could sponsor you to stay, you don't have to say all that. So keep it short as much as possible. So for permanent residents, I don't know if they asked them, honestly. Like I said, my friend that we came in together, it was put in an entire different role from where we were, giving our documents. So I don't think there's much that has to do with them because they're coming up as permanent residents. But for students and for visitors, these are very key questions. If you're coming as a worker, they might not also ask you so much, because I don't think they know if you're coming on work permit, you're coming to work. Probably they might just ask you what your previous experiences are like and stuff like that. But apart from that, I don't think there's any issue that has to do with workers and permanent residents order. So that's basically things I know. If you have any other questions or experience that you had when you arrived, please share with us in the comment. Let's learn from you. Let people also learn from you, and let's do this thing together. I welcome you to Canada. I pray that the land will favor you, and I pray that all your aspirations, the Lord will bring you to pass. I wish you all the very best, and I'll see you in my next video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much. Bye.